Hello everyone, welcome to the Financial Information channel. My name is Marvin. In this video, I'm going to give you some quick analysis on some of the stocks that subscribers have mentioned in previous videos. And I'm going to make this type of video every 1 or 2 weeks. Please leave in the comment section below which kind of stock do you want me to cover in the next videos. Just one thing, when you mention a stock, let me know if you want me to cover that stock for the short term or for the long term. And most of the analysis will be technical analysis. Now let's begin with the video. And the first thing that I'm going to do is analyze the stock market. Let's begin with the ticker symbol SPY, which is the S&P 500. Now you can see in the SPY symbol, you will see a resistance level at the 250. The stock market tried to break the resistance level, but it didn't hold. And you can see that the RSI is a little bit too high at this moment. And there are two support lines, one around the 246 and the other one around the 243. So I think the S&P 500 might pull back a little bit and then it might try to break the resistance level, which is around 250. And the volume has been mostly positive during this month, which kind of surprised me. So based on the S&P 500, I think we're okay. Now we're gonna review the QQQ, which is the Nasdaq, and the Nasdaq has a lot of technology companies. Now you can see the QQQ has a resistance level of 146, and the RSI is almost at the midpoint, which is almost at the 50, and we have two supports, one around the 142 and the other one around the 139. The volume during the last 2 weeks having mostly negative. So the QQQ might continue selling out during the next few days. However, I think it's gonna attempt to break that resistance level in the next few weeks. Now I'm gonna analyze the VIX, which is the volatility index. Now the VIX has a supporting line of 952 and the RSI looks a little bit bearish. However, look at the trending line. It is trending line a little bit to that support line, and most of the time when it does, it starts to bounce back. So we will probably see volatility during the next few days. One catalyst that might move the stock market higher will be the tax reform that is going to be announced this week. But now let's take a look at the stock companies, and the first company is Alibaba. I'm not going to mention the fundamentals for this company because I already covered the company in the June stocks here. So if you want to see the fundamentals, I'm going to check the technical analysis. And as you can see, the RSI in the 63, and I think the RSI might move into the high 50s before moving higher. And the next thing we're going to check is the first supporting line, which is around the price of 165. So that will give you a good discount if the stock decided to drop at that price. And the next supporting line is around 155, which I don't think is gonna drop anytime soon at that price, but who knows. And the volume has been mostly positive during the last few weeks, and I do think that Alibaba at this moment is a little bit stretched. It would be nice if the stock actually pulled back 4 to 5%, and then that way it's gonna continue running for the next few months. Besides having shares in Alibaba, I have call options that are gonna expire on January 2018 for Alibaba. And Alibaba is a great stock. It's a good way that you can diversify in having an international stock. And the next stock that was mentioned was Amazon. And we're gonna take a look at the stock chart. And Amazon, as you see, the RSI is around 41, and there are two supporting lines. The first one is around the 950 price, and the next one is around the 900 price. The volume has been negative during the last few weeks, but it has slowly been decreasing. And right now we are at a key area. The stock is heading to the support line, and as you saw on the stock chart, this is the support line. The stock was going to the support line. Most of the time when it hit the support line, it bounces back. And if it does, that might be a good entry price to invest for the long term. And if you don't have high risk tolerance, you may want to wait for the company shares to bounce back before getting any position. Now the next company I mentioned in the 5 dividend stocks, which is Microsoft. Now let's take a look at the Microsoft stock chart. And as you can see, Microsoft has a good RSI of 53, and Microsoft has two supporting lines. The first one is around the 73 and the next one is around the $71. So if you see the Microsoft going into the 73, it might bounce back just like Amazon and continue going higher. And of course it has another supporting line around the 68 price, and the volume has been mixed during the last few weeks. So Microsoft doesn't move as much on either way, but it has a great dividend. So investing for the long term for Microsoft kinda makes sense. Now let's go to the next company, which is Netflix. Now Netflix has been one of the best stocks during the last few years. Now you can see the RSI is a little bit high at this moment, and there is a little bit of resistance around the 191, and at this moment the stock price is heading that way. And if it breaks the resistance price of 191, we might see the 200 price soon. There are two supporting areas, one around the 179 and the other one around the 165, and the selling volume has decreased during the last few weeks. So what I think about Netflix, I think it's gonna test the resistance level 191, but I think it might not break it, and I think it's gonna pull back a little bit. Netflix stock has been awesome during the last few years, and the funny thing is I never bought any shares. And the next company that I'm going to analyze is gonna be Nike. Now for Nike, I'm gonna pull the weekly stock chart because the stock has been moving sideways that way during the last 2 years. Now the RSI is around the 46, which is actually a decent area. Now this chart is kinda easy to read during the last 2 years. It has a resistance around the 60, and I wrote resistance around the 50, but it should be support. So the support is around the $50 price. What I'm worried though, the volume has been mostly negative during the last few weeks. And as you saw, the stock might move higher or lower depending on the guidance and the earnings. But what I'm worried is that we're at the same price that we had last quarter. And as you saw during the chart, the stock actually moved higher during the earnings, but it sold off again. So I'm kinda worried that the stock post bad earnings, the stock price might go under $50 price. And the next one is gonna be MasterCard. It was mentioned in one of the comments. Now let's take a look at the stock chart. So the stock price at this time is around 141, and I think at this moment it's a little bit overbought. The RSI is around the 70, and it has a support around the 133 and the other support around 127. And this is an easy to read stock chart. I think the best entry point will be around the $135 price. I wouldn't chase the stock at this price. Now let's go to the next company, and that company is gonna be Alphabet. Let's take a look at the Google stock chart. The good thing about Alphabet is at this moment the RSI is around the 50. Now for Alphabet, it has two resistance levels. The first one is the 936, and the next price is the 980. And the support level is around the 910. And the volume has been decent during the last few days. The stock chart price is heading around the resistance level, and if it finally breaks that resistance level, we're gonna see kinda like a good profit during the next few weeks. I'm not going to mention the fundamentals for Google because Google has probably one of the best fundamentals in the stock market. And the last company that I'm gonna review is gonna be Applied Materials. Now let's take a look at the stock chart for Applied Materials. And as you can see, the RSI is around the 63, which has been slowly moving up during the last few weeks. And as you saw, we see a little bit of resistance around the 47. It broke that price, but it pulled back. There's a good support around the 43, almost $44. The volume has been mostly positive during the last few days. Now for Applied Materials, this is the third time that the stock is gonna try to break that resistance level. And if Applied Materials break that resistance level and it holds that price, the stock is gonna move into the 50s by next month. And if it doesn't, the stock might pull back to the price of $45 price. We will see what happens during the next few days. Now, that is gonna be everything for the video. Please leave in the comment section below if you want me to cover any stocks in the future. And remember, let me know if you plan to invest for the company for the short term or the long term. You can subscribe to the financial information channel. I'm gonna continue bringing videos about the stock market, personal finance, and how to make money online. I want to thank you once again for watching the video. Have an excellent day and take care, my friends.